It is December, and if you're new to the channel, that only means one thing. We are starting off our series called The Best, where I highlight the best restaurants in a category or the best order at a restaurant, and this is something I just wanted to do because I was in the mood for it. So today we are doing the best order at Dave's Hot Chicken. Dave's Hot Chicken is one of my favorite restaurants in the fast casual category. What I consider fast casual is a restaurant that gives you quick service similar to fast food, but they make to order, and most of the time, a best way to go about it is there's no drive-through, but it's not a sit-down restaurant necessarily. So this is a fast casual restaurant, like Five Guys, Wingstop, Chipotle. Those are fast casual. Anyway, Dave's Hot Chicken has basically one of the simplest menus, but they're really good at it. They have sliders and tenders. You can get a vegan version, French fries, mac and cheese. That's pretty much it. So there's not going to be much variety, but less is more in my opinion. I'm going to start off with the tenders. I got a tenders meal here. It's supposed to be 2 tenders, but I got a bonus tender somehow. I got 3. I'm not mad at that. One of the things I like about Dave's is you don't have to get one heat level. You can get 2 separate ones. A lot of places, they only allow you one. So I got medium and extra hot on here, an order of fries, and then a side of mac and cheese. I also got a large Dave's sauce, which you can buy for $3. You can also buy Dave's sauce in a packet, but I don't think it tastes as good. This one is like their house-made version, whereas the packet, it's packaged. I always think this one tastes a little bit better. So $3, you get yourself the largest Dave's sauce that you can find. Don't ever compare this to Raising Cane's, which I've never tried, but could never be. Anyway, let's start off with a tender. I don't know if this is medium or extra hot, so we're just going to have to find out. I'm going to guess medium. It's not that hot. Into the Dave sauce. By the way, if you don't want to buy the Dave sauce, they give it to you too. I just bought a big one because I know I'm going to use it. Fries, usually crispy. They put the same seasoning on the fries as their hot chicken. I believe they just use the mild or the medium though. Not that it matters. So this should be the extra hot. The only thing hotter than this on the menu is the Reaper, which I've had. That's extra hot. My favorite 2 heat levels for me are hot and extra hot. Just so you know. I don't think that extra hot is insane hot. I'm not saying it's not spicy. I'm not one of those people. I just think it's the perfect heat level. If you go to a place that isn't a franchise like this and order extra hot, it's going to be 1,000 times hotter. To me, this is like franchise extra hot. Not to say it's not hot. It's just not that hot to me. When you get in Dave's, make sure you get the honey. Very important. Yes, it matters. Went to a place called Fluffy's Hot Chicken the other day, and I said that I would rather get hot chicken and put honey on it, similar to Dave's Hot Chicken. This, to me, makes the order. You have to put a little bit of the sweet from that honey, and then you add the Dave sauce right here. Get it in the Dave sauce. Right in the damn packet. That is so good, though. You're gonna give me a second so I can wipe this off my elbow. By the way, I think it was a Chinese food video the other day. There was a bunch of comments from people about the same similar incident that happened. It happened. It happens from time to time. A little honey. Also got a Coke Zero from there in a bottle. I got their shakes a couple of times. I don't really care for them, so I didn't get it again. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I don't really care for their mac and cheese, but I'm gonna try it one more time, which I think I said the last time I had Dave's Hot Chicken. But this is probably the last time. It's not the last time. You can do the slider. Comes with Dave's sauce, pickles, coleslaw on a potato roll. Very important. I always like to let it hang out of there just because I think they think it looks better, but I'm not that. Their coleslaw is actually kale slaw for people, by the way. It's made with kale. Remember, I didn't know that the first time I went there, and I noticed that it was a little more bitter and a little more crunchy. But it pretty much tastes like coleslaw. When it comes to Dave's, the debate for most people is sliders or tenders. I gotta settle this today. I think I'm more of a tenders person than a sliders person. But let's find out. Into the Dave sauce. These are both hot. No, one hot, one extra hot, my bad. One of the things I also noticed with Dave's is their chicken, at least the location I go to, it's always crispy. Even hours later. Always crispy. A little bit of fries on there. Now, all meals at Dave's are about $15. If you want something that's more affordable, I would get what they call the Dave's Bites and Fries, which is about $11. And it's like a combo meal, which I still don't necessarily know why they did that. Not that it matters, but they're little bite-sized pieces of chicken. You get 10 in an order, but you don't get a drink. So you have to buy drinks. It's still going to come out to about $13, $14. None of their combos come with drinks. Unless you use their DoorDash, you can get a drink with it, but it costs like $17. That's about the going rate for fast casual these days. Do I think that's too expensive? Yep. But everything in that category of restaurant costs about $15 to $20 now. It used to be $10 to $15. Now it's $15 to $20. Well, it is what it is. Let's try to get the mac and cheese redemption arc. It's not going to be... People love this. I'm trying here. I really am. I have mutuals that do food videos. They love it. I don't like it. It just... I don't know. Look, we're going to try it again, man. It does look like they added more like regular cheese to this, but it's still... This looks like KFC mac and cheese to me. It just doesn't hit, but I'm trying, bro, because sometimes, you know, you get a different order and it hits, or sometimes you see the light. But it looks like they added a different kind of cheese to this time. That's it for me, bro. That's it. Listen, if you're watching this video, whether you're just someone who watches the content, whether you're a mutual, whether you're a family member, no. I know y'all like this too, it just don't hit, but I'm gonna try it and look. Okay. Now let me make myself clear. I'm not saying this mac and cheese is inedible, but I don't like it. But I'll eat it on stuff. Like, I wouldn't... Paying $4 for this for me is crazy. Like, KFC's mac and cheese is something that I also really don't like. But if I'm absolutely starving, I would attempt to eat it. I just would never go out of my way to eat it. That's how I feel about this. They only have one size. It's about $4, and it's not helping anything. It's like a vestigial tail. It serves no purpose. It's the best way I can say it. Now, I love Dave's Hot Chicken. The only thing I think they need to work on is the damn mac and cheese. Everything else is fantastic. So I got a couple of extra things to whittle it down to my best order. I wasn't sure if I was between the tenders or the sliders. And the crazy part is, I'm about to play Switzerland. The best thing at Dave's Hot Chicken is the one slider, one tender combo. I cannot decide between both. They don't want you to decide between both. So get that combo. For me, extra hot. If you don't like spice, please take it down to at least medium. Fries in the combo. No cheese. For me, no pickles. For you, pickles. Extra pickles. Get as many as you want to. No mac and cheese. And a container of Dave's sauce. The thing I love the most about Dave's Hot Chicken, they're not trying to do too much. They don't do crazy additions to their menu. Now, they added their bites and cauliflower nuggets. I know why the cauliflower, but again, the Dave's Bites, people have speculated maybe they're pieces of the tenders, or maybe because some people prefer bite-sized pieces. Again, I just think you can cut the tender up and do the same thing, but that's neither here nor there because they are white meat. It's not dark meat, so I don't know. Anyway, maybe they're, I don't know what, look, I speculated last time there was a lot of different hypotheses that people had. The bottom line is none of us really know. I can think of a few valid reasons. None of them make sense to me. Probably because it's cheaper to make. But with that being said, again, they don't try to do too much. They only have about 2 or 3 different combo meals. Some shakes, some fries. Only sides I have is mac and cheese and coleslaw. And I like that. To me, I'd rather have you make 5 things that are really good than 50 things and 2 are good. And I think some places fall into this trap where this is coach speak, but they try to get too cute. Like you try to do too much, in other words. And I don't think you need to do that. But either way, that is my Dave's Hot Chicken best order. And I do have a public service announcement that I'd like to talk about today. Now, this one is more for the men or the boys, whatever you want to call yourself. Ladies, you can still listen. It's cool. You can agree or not agree. As long as everything's respectful, it is what it is. My demographics on this channel are 90% male. Like, that's how skewed in the direction it is. And that's good. I don't mind that. Because I think that a lot of males are consuming the wrong type of content. Like, to me, my content is food content. I give opinions on things, but they're mostly things that aren't divisive. I don't want to be a divisive mechanism. That's not my intention. And I think that even though I do have opinions towards certain things, until the world is ready to actually listen to each other, instead of just trying to be right on one side, like I said this the other day, I feel like we treat everything these days, opinions, politics, thoughts on things, like it's SEC football. And what I mean by that is, our side knows everything, your side knows nothing, you guys are all dumb, we're all smart, we win, you lose, doesn't matter. No matter what, there's never anything you can look at from any side of opinion that differs from yours and go, I mean, I see where they're coming from. You know why? Because most of us are not trying to. You're not trying to make sense of things, you know. And one of the most divisive things recently, not politics, I'm not going there, has been this whole men versus women stuff that's been going on, right? There's a lot of toxic male content. There's a lot of toxic woman content as well. But again, you guys are mostly guys. That's what I'm here to talk about today. And I say this with a hope. Please watch the content you're consuming. Please watch, if you're watching all that red pill podcast type of stuff. They're about all, some of them are older, but about in the same age bracket as me. A lot of these guys are in their 30s. There's no way a man in his 30s should be thinking most of the things that they think. And what I'm saying when I say most is, a lot of these podcasts, what they do is they sprinkle truth in a sea of bullshit. Excuse me for cursing, but I do not like the fact that there's a lot of young people that are very impressionable and you're looking for answers and you think they have the answers. Especially when it comes to the way that they treat women. That's the main thing that I'm here to harp on today. These things are in a vacuum. They bring in certain types of women that have certain types of jobs without me, you know, the OF thing and those types of women. And these are people that debate people for a living. So they tend to make them look stupid, get mad and kick them out. And I understand the entertainment aspect of that. I completely do. But if you're actually looking to have a relationship in your life, I'm an old man at this point. I've been in plenty of relationships. I've screwed up in relationships. I've been screwed over in relationships. I'm telling you this from experience, not just my own, but other people's I've seen. If you're actually looking to get in a relationship, if your end game is to find a relationship, to get into one, to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, cool, get married, that's not how you're going to do it. There's a reason, and if that you want to tell me that, oh, you know, the reason that they're single is because good women don't exist, that's a load of BS. Are there bad women out there who mistreat dudes? Absolutely. There's plenty of good women in the world. And if you're spouting off those talking points, they're not going to look in your direction. And that's probably a reason why they're not looking in your direction. Do I believe in self-improvement? There's the truth. Yes. But you can self-improve without blaming other people or saying the reason that you're single is because of women or anything of that nature. You could find the wrong women. You could find the wrong type of people you're hanging around. You could have bad influences. But one of the things that I say in my life, and this is the only piece of advice that I'm going to give you again, control the controllables. I spent a long portion of my life getting upset about everything around me instead of worrying about what the hell I could do about it. So you have to ask yourself a question when you have a problem. This is serious stuff. I'm not joking with you. When you have a problem, one, is there something that can be done about it? Can you fix it? In other words, one of the analogies I use is yelling at the sun. A lot of people yell at the sun. The sun's going to be right there. It's going to be too bright if you look at it. And if you yell at it this too bright, it's not going to make a damn difference. It's still going to be right where you left it. So come back the next day and keep messing with you. So put on sunglasses. Don't look at the sun. Those are the controllable parts of it. So if you can't fix the problem, then you learn to deal with the problem the best that you can. So if you feel like the reason, a lot of these podcast things harp on this subject more. If you feel like the reason that you're single is that there are no viable candidates, what can you change about that? If you think screaming at women they suck and they need to change is the answer, you are sadly mistaken. Because they're doing the same thing to you. Just like if you find a woman and she starts saying certain things and you're like, yeah, I don't care what you look like, I'm not dealing with you, right? A lot of people in those podcasts talk about promiscuous women. You think every woman in the world is promiscuous? Or are you only talking to the promiscuous ones they bring on? And that's what I'm saying. Not every person is dateable for you. There are other people in the world that may find the person that you like repulsive, but who gives a crap? You find a suitable partner that works best with you, and you treat them well. If they mistreat you, you move the hell on. Don't make a TikTok about it. It ain't gonna do nothing, ladies. So control the controllables. Yelling about how much women suck is not going to change anything. And as an old man, I have dealt with the worst type of women and the best type of women. I have. I will. There's good women out there. Now, what are you going to do to make yourself more desirable towards them? Do the opposite of what they're doing. And the other thing I will say before I get out of here when it comes to those people, again, a lot of them aren't what they seem. A lot of them don't do what they preach. It's been outed multiple times over multiple recent things that a lot of them that say the things that they won't do, like wifing up types of women, actually wife up those types of women. There's been multiple different of that space recently that have been outed for doing the exact thing that they said that they don't do. There's no money in a cure. The best way for them to keep business booming is to keep you single. Because if you get a girlfriend and you start getting regular buns, excuse my language, you ain't gonna be mad no more. I never met a guy who has regular affection of any sort from a woman that they care about that's angry at stuff like that. There's no money in that cure. So they're gonna keep you single. Ladies, take everything that I just said, reverse it, and just understand what I just said applies to you too. I know there's toxic woman podcasters out there that spend their time bashing men and don't do the things that they say they do. Men are this and that in their own relationships. Men are this and that. And control the controllables. If you truly believe that they are the reason, then just stand there and do nothing and see which one gets fixed first. But anyway, I wanted to talk about that because it drives me crazy. I've seen so much stuff in this stuff recently, and it's just like, as an older guy at this point who's been through enough relationships, I've been a dog in my past. I've been screwed over in my past. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think there's a lot of things that maybe you might want to listen to when it comes to this stuff, and it's not that. Ask any dude I know who's in a relationship. They don't think like this. All right? Women are not there just to be provided and protected. It's a part of the thing. Absolutely. It's not the only reason. They're not dogs. All right? I feed my dog. I make sure he's cool. That's my dog. And then in return, he does whatever I ask him to. If I say sit down, he sits down. That's not a wife. That's not a relationship. And that's not something you should aspire to have. Because even if you find something like that, which I don't know how the hell you are, that person will resent you. And you'll end up getting divorced. Anyway, that's enough preaching. Enjoy the Daves. I hope you listen to my TED Talk, bro. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to get preachy. I just think a lot of guys are worried about the wrong stuff. And it's you're going to end up 35, 40 and yelling at the sun. All right? It's okay to admit, like, I got to work on myself without saying they're the reason why. But always work on yourself. I will believe that. But I will never mask self-improvement as a way to keep you single. Never. Anyway, I love y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. And hand signs. They made it to YouTube.